I knew something was off the moment. I saw the bright orange spray paint slashed across my backyard like a crime scene. It wasn't kids messing around. No, this was deliberate, precise. And when I followed the line back to where it started, I saw her, Karen, standing, with a smug grin on her face and a measuring tape dangling from her wrist like a trophy. "You're trespassing," she said to me, "on my property." Let me back up a bit. I'd bought my house 2 years ago, a quiet piece of heaven at the edge of a wooded cul-de-sac. The lot was larger than the others on the block, about 3/4 of an acre, and came with a small garden, a line of fruit trees, and a rustic old shed I'd planned to renovate. It was peaceful, until Karen moved in next door. She quickly became known as that HOA lady. Rules, complaints, and controlling everything within eyesight. You couldn't leave your trash can out 5 minutes too long without a notice taped to your door. But this time, she took things further. She claimed that part of my backyard was actually her land. Without warning, she started, marking off a portion of it, about 20 feet deep, and the entire width of our shared fence line, spray painting the grass, placing plastic flags, even setting up little stakes as if she were planning a construction project. The problem? I had the property survey to prove it was mine. I calmly walked over, holding a copy of my deed and the survey papers in my hand. Karen didn't want to see them. Instead, she told me she'd spoken with the HOA and that they agreed the land was hers. She even threatened to fine me if I refused to cooperate. That's when I realized this wasn't ignorance. This was a power play. And she was about to find out she picked the wrong neighbor. I didn't respond to Karen's threats. Instead, I contacted a real estate attorney and scheduled a fresh property survey from a licensed team. 2 weeks later, the results were in every inch of the land she tried to steal was clearly within my property lines. The new survey matched the original deed perfectly. But Karen wasn't backing down. In fact, she doubled down. She had the audacity to hold an HOA meeting in her backyard. I wasn't invited, but one of the neighbors texted me a picture of her presentation. She had printed a fake map. Yes, an actual printed map, where she had redrawn the property, lines to cut off that strip of my land and add it to hers. She was passing it around like it was some kind of legal document. At that point, I'd had enough. I filed a formal complaint with the county land office and notified the HOA in writing that Karen was illegally encroaching. My attorney sent her a cease and desist letter. That got her attention. But it was what happened next that sealed her fate. Karen filed a lawsuit against me. She claimed I had expanded my backyard illegally, moved the fence, and encroached on her land. She walked into that courtroom confident, armed with her fake map, and a binder full of printed HOA rules that had nothing to do with property boundaries. And then, my attorney brought out the real surveys, both the one from when I bought the house and the brand new one signed off by the county. We also presented aerial images from Google Maps, showing the property hadn't changed in over 5 years. Her entire argument crumbled. When the judge asked her who created the map, she submitted as evidence. She stuttered. "I drew it. Based on my understanding of the land," she said. That was it. The judge scolded her right there in the courtroom for wasting everyone's time, attempting to mislead the court, and misusing the HOA's authority. Not only was her lawsuit dismissed with prejudice, but the judge also issued a court order, forbidding her from stepping foot on my land again. If she did, she'd face trespassing charges. Karen's land grab wasn't just a failure. It backfired in the most public way possible. Have you ever dealt with a neighbor like this? Let me know your story in the comments. I read every single one. And if you were rooting for me in this battle, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the bell, so you never miss the next insane HOA drama I uncover.